Hey guys, welcome back to Prepping in Progress. I'm Steve,
And I'm Kim.
and today we are going to hit the Preppers React series again. Get ready for the hate and dislike comments.
Today we're going to be reacting to the latest news. There is a Fox News article and a CNN article, both about the similar things, but kind of just what's going on in current events. And we want to read the article with you guys and react to it with y'all. So stay tuned. Okay, guys, like I said, we're going to be looking over this news article from Fox News, and I'm trying to see if I can see the date. Published a day ago. Today is April 3rd, I do believe. April
Yes.
3rd. So this is from yesterday. But yeah, I kind of saw this when I was at work, and I was seeing a lot of preppers out there talking about it, and I wanted us to do a reaction reading the actual article because all I saw was the headlines, and it kind of, as a prepper, it kind of jarred me a little bit. And as y'all can tell, the headlines.
Feds distribute thousands of masks, other supplies, seized from hoarders during coronavirus pandemic.
You know, we've talked about before about how easily people could relabel preppers as hoarders or other not so nice terms. So when I saw this headline, it kind of it jumped out at me of using the term hoarders. And so my first thought was from like that TV show Hoarders. So I'm like, did they like demolish somebody's house and find a bunch of medical supplies? And I'm like, oh, that'd be kind of weird to be taking over somebody's house and find a bunch of stuff and they just seize it and take it over. So I wasn't sure what was going on and what they meant by hoarder. So I wanted to do a reaction video and let Steve read the article with us and get our reaction to, okay, what exactly is going on? And my light just switched off, but oh well, we'll just deal without my fun, really expensive lights.
And keep in mind, there is also a video. We may or may not take a look at that.
Yeah, the audio may be a little bit weird, so we'll just kind of see how it goes. I'll just read the article.
All right, so
we're scrolling down here. Get the latest news on the coronavirus.
The Justice Department and Department of Health and Human Services are distributing nearly 200,000 N95 respirator masks and other medical supplies to New York and New Jersey after confiscating them from individuals hoarding the materials.
Okay. So individuals, so this isn't like a company that had a bunch of those stockpiled. This is individuals.
According to the way this is written, you are correct.
Okay.
However, I have heard that this was businesses that were holding on to them.
We'll keep reading.
So let's get on.
Let's keep reading. That's just that individuals hoarding. As a prepper, that's bothersome. That's really bothersome just from the get-go. But let's keep reading. Let's just fingers crossed this is not as bad as it sounds.
And we only have 4 masks, one for each of us. And we only use them for shopping. So if anyone out there is watching, we don't have any, but send some to us.
We have nothing. Okay.
Fox News has learned that the FBI discovered the supplies last week in New Jersey during an enforcement operation by the Justice Department's COVID-19 hoarding and price gouging task force and alerted HHS.
Okay, so this is a task force?
Yes, apparently.
Run by the Department of Justice because it's the COVID-19 hoarding. All right, so this is a response to just this pandemic.
So this could be individuals like the jerks in the Walmart parking lot who bought all the toilet paper, then tried to jack up the prices.
Yeah, but I mean, I can understand. Like here in Arkansas, we have a price gouging laws.
Yeah.
Which here in our state, it's just a fine.
Yeah.
For each instance of price gouging, but this task force, Justice Department, so we're talking federal. FBI, federal, so this isn't the states of New Jersey or something like this. Is the federal government doing this with the Justice Department. But I don't like how that hoarding and price gouging task force, I don't like how
it's lumped together.
Yeah. Okay, let's keep reading.
And keep in mind, though, that, due to the whole innocent until proven guilty thing, they may be seizing and redistributing the property, but these people may not have actually been charged and
Well, I don't want to make
gone through.
assumptions.
I'm
Yeah,
just saying, gone
yeah.
through the court process yet, which means they may not be releasing, the name of
But my
BioWare.
problem is it's saying they are distributing.
They have stolen.
So they have taken the property.
Stolen property. They have taken evidence and they are
now
giving,
distributing it
yes.
to.
So they're going to have to reimburse these people no matter what.
Well, I don't know. It doesn't sound like. I mean, it could be as a. I don't know. If he gets convicted, they may not.
Interesting, isn't it?
It's kind of concerning. It really is. Okay, so let's just keep reading.
And no mention of a FISA warrant. I'm just saying. Under the Defense Production Act, HHS ordered that the supplies be immediately given to the government. Okay, so Health and Human Services did this.
Under the Defense Protection Act.
Production
Act, sorry.
In addition to the 192,000 N95 respirator masks, the FBI found 598,000 medical-grade gloves and 130,000 surgical masks, procedure masks, N100 masks, surgical gowns, disinfectant towels, particulate filters, bottles of hand sanitizer, and bottles of spray disinfectant.
Hell of a prepper. Excuse my language.
I'm curious, is this one individual or was this a...
If it's a prepper, man, he's got a stockpile.
I hope you went down fighting, dude. Cracking down on the hoarding of vital supplies allows us to distribute this material to the heroic healthcare workers on the front lines who are most in need, HHS Secretary Alex Azar said in a statement. Thanks to the quick work of the White House, the Department of Justice, and HHS, the seized resources were distributed in days to the doctors, nurses, and first responders who need them. Just for the record, guys, first responders, doctors, nurses, etc., those of us who are heroes here in Arkansas, we're getting nothing. Share the love.
Okay, now that cracking down on the hoarding of... So this is not about the price gouging. They are talking about the hoarding of vital supplies. I mean, I don't see him freaking out about the price gouging part of the price gouging and hoarding task force part of it, but cracking down on hoarding.
Next sentence.
Okay, so let's scroll down.
HHS is expected to pay the owner of the hoarded equipment pre-COVID-19 fair market value for the supplies.
Expected to pay.
Yeah.
Expected. You got to be careful of that wording. Expected to pay.
Well, let me know when you get the check.
Yeah, I want to see the check.
I'm not going where I was about to go.
Okay.
It had to do with a gentleman in Idaho who lived on top of a mountain. And,
yeah, we're not going there.
Won a lawsuit against the federal government.
Not going there. So not going there.
After inspecting the supplies, HHS arranged for the delivery of the PPE, personal protective equipment, to the New Jersey Department of Health, the New York State Department of Health, and the New York City Department of Health and Mental Hygiene.
Mental hygiene?
Okay, I'm going to have some bleach.
Is that for brainwashing? Sorry. Okay, I have no problem with mental health, but what is mental hygiene? I've never heard. It's for brainwashing. So you can scrub it really good.
Well, that or these people are going to the wrong websites.
Okay, so after it's inspected, they went ahead and distributed it out to different places locally.
Yes.
Looks like. Okay. Scroll down a little bit more.
If you are amassing critical medical equipment for the purpose of selling it at exorbitant prices, you can expect a knock at your door, Attorney General Bill Barr said in a statement. The Department of Justice's COVID-19...
I love his stand-up act, by the way. Bill Barr? Or is that Bill Burr?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay, never mind. Sorry, I heard Bill Barr and I heard Bill Burr. Bill Burr is a comedian who's like really raunchy and it just went there. Sorry.
Alrighty then. This is why some relationships don't work.
Anyway, sorry. Attorney General Bill Barr
Said in a statement, the Department of Justice's. If you are amassing critical medical equipment for the purposes of selling it at exorbitant prices, you can expect a knock at your door, Attorney General Bill Barr said in a statement.
Okay.
Continuing the quote, the Department of Justice's COVID-19 Hoarding and Price Gouging Task Force is working tirelessly around the clock with all our law enforcement partners to ensure that bad actors cannot illicitly profit from the COVID-19 pandemic facing our nation.
Okay.
I'm on board so far with that snippet. But once again, we got
sorry, go ahead.
We got ripped on our last video for only going through snippets and picking it apart piece by piece. I'd like to see Mr. Attorney General Barr's full statement, not just one paragraph out of it.
Okay.
The discovery of the materials comes after Azar and Barr last week implemented anti-price gouging and hoarding orders for necessary supplies to combat COVID-19 and protect those on the front lines. That order came after states like New York, which has become the epicenter of the country's COVID-19 outbreak, complained about price gouging in necessary PPE like N95 masks. As of Thursday morning, the U.S. reported more than 216,722 positive cases of COVID-19 and more than 5,137 deaths.
First of all, we're not making any jokes with that. It is a pandemic, and that part I completely get.
And as of Thursday morning, and this is Friday, the numbers have gone up. Let's be honest.
I do believe we went worldwide over 1 million cases now. Not current active cases, but 1 million cases of it. And I know that those numbers are probably lower than they should be because they're not actively doing a lot of testing, especially out in like rural areas where we're at. There's not hardly any, unless you are showing extreme symptoms. I don't know of anybody that's getting regular testings out there, so I'm pretty sure that the numbers are probably even higher than that. Then mild cases aren't being reported because people aren't going to the hospitals and stuff like that. People may be catching it, not knowing that they have it, spreading it, recovering on their own, and never getting put into those numbers, and then, of course, giving it to somebody else.
That, and I mean, I'll be honest, our local hospital is doing the best they can.
We're small, though.
They have people, I don't want to say guarding the door, but their job is to immediately take temperatures and do assessments for it when you're coming in for anything else. And even the employees are being temp checked. Well, you're being temp checked at your job.
I am. We are, even at my job and even manufacturing.
You're essential.
I am an essential employee.
Now, say it with me. I'm in danger.
I'm so in danger. Yes, and on that note, we are the last southern state here in Arkansas not to have stay-at-home orders. Our state, knock on wood, has not currently been hit as hard as other states. I think honestly we are, I think because we're very rural areas, we're pretty spread out. It's hit the cities pretty bad, but people have been taking it really seriously and doing it on their own without having been told to self-isolate and social distance. And, different businesses I know here that have gone ahead and shut down without having been ordered to. So our numbers...
Our numbers are currently way lower than everyone
most
else.
States.
Now, I'm going to give props to our governor, good old Asa. I caught a interview he did recently, and he addressed this. He said, I'm catching a lot of heat from other governors and different factions saying, we need a state stay-at-home order. And he said, no. He said, look, certain states, and I believe he threw out California as one of the main ones that has already implemented a stay-at-home order, have thousands of people still going to work because they're essential. You're still allowed to go out and get groceries. You're still allowed to go out and perform essential jobs and
Your
things
numbers are still going up.
things that will sustain you at home, your food, water, shelter, etc. And it's still going on. I said,
Yeah.
look, people, we're doing that already. You, as a state, are staying home already.
Mm-hmm.
Your employers have sent most of you home that have.
And like I said, even employers without having to being forced to are taking precautions on their own. Getting PPE to say when we go in to get our temperature checked, they're wearing masks, they're wearing gloves, there's hand sanitizer everywhere. They are taking so many precautions. We have to wear special gloves when handling, materials, and because we're manufacturing, we're making things, and we have.
I'm a retired EMT. Do you need someone to take temperatures?
No, my boss does. My boss is the one. Our boss and my supervisor. They check every single person for a temperature. If they are running a temperature, they are sent home for 2 weeks.
With pay.
With pay, and so they're not being laid off or anything like that. So it's. I do believe there was a stimulus to help out businesses that were essential to be able to do that. So if anybody's running a temperature when they come in, they're not allowed in the building. They're sent home for 2 weeks. And then they come back, they're rechecked again. If they're good to go, they're back to work. So they're taking it very seriously on their own. So I do agree. But back to this article, there was another article that had that was supposed to have more information in it. The kitty cat's trying to get in the door. So I want to switch over to that right quick.
Okay.
And
That's it.
yeah. Oop, that's not what I want. Click off that. All right. That was supposed to, I skimmed through it, but I didn't read it completely. Oop, get off there. And this one was on CNN, which I don't like CNN, but I didn't want to bias. I didn't want just Fox News or just CNN. So I wanted to see the same article on the same situation from
the different author.
2 different perspectives on what is going on.
Well, I have always said,
because we're fair and balanced here.
No, we're not. We're really not. Because we listen to the right, we listen to the left, we listen to the independent, and then we make up our own mind because there's your version, my version, and somewhere in the middle lies the truth. So we're going to look at this article next from CNN Politics about the same case. My kitty cat is scratching on the door. HHS redistributes medical supplies seized from seller suspected of hoarding. Seller. Okay.
Okay, so it's about the price gouging thing.
Health and Human Services Department said Thursday it had distributed some 192,095 respirator masks and a large haul of other scarce medical supplies that the FBI had seized during the arrest of a Brooklyn man. Baruch Feldheim, 43, was arrested Monday after he allegedly coughed on FBI agents and told them he had the coronavirus.
Oh,
moron.
Troll.
I mean, I'm sorry.
What? What did I just... That was so not in the other article. Why was this left out of the other article?
Now, here's a question.
This is a grown man. This is somebody
43 years.
Your age, right?
No. This is someone older than me. Shut up.
Yeah, he's 29 plus tax. I'm sorry. This is a grown man.
I'm still able to give you the change, baby. This is a grown man, on
FBI agents. That's what I'm.
In this situation, due to the pandemic, wouldn't that be considered at least a terroristic threat, if not assault and battery?
Let me just keep reading, because I'm pretty sure they just didn't go, that wasn't very nice, mister.
Prosecutors alleged in court documents that Feldheim sold the N95 masks to doctors and nurses at inflated prices, in one instance at as much as 700% markup. Okay, this is not hoarding. This is...
Okay, he bought in order to...
This is a gouge.
Okay.
This is not a prepper with his supplies. This is a gouge.
Okay, this isn't just That's what I was worried
I
about.
mean, even
as a prepper, I was worried that this was going.
look, supply and demand, I'd even give you 125%. Go ahead. Take a little bit of extra profit because of the law of supply and demand. Buy low, sell high. I'm okay with that. But 700%? Are you stupid?
You're just begging to get caught at that point, right?
They are now being distributed to healthcare workers in New York and New Jersey. The department used its authority under the Defense Production Act to make the move. Justice Department prosecutors in Newark charged Feldheim with assaulting federal officers
There it is.
and making false statements to law enforcement. He must not have been positive.
I got Storona. This guy. Okay, let's scroll down.
CNN has reached out to Feldheim's attorney for comment. Feldheim kept the items in a repair shop in Irvington, New Jersey, which contained enough materials to outfit an entire hospital.
Now that's a hoard.
A doctor who purchased masks from Feldheim told authorities, according to court documents. The FBI agents, as part of the Justice Department's COVID-19 Hoarding and Price Gouging Task Force, seized the items. In addition to the N95 masks, the haul included 598 medical-grade gloves, 130,000 surgical and other masks, surgical gowns, disinfectant towels, particulate filters, and bottles of hand sanitizer and spray disinfectants. The Justice Department and HHS said in a press release. Timeout. This is why I don't like CNN. You note the verbiage that they are using. The haul included. This definitely couches the article in a certain light.
Yeah.
However, it is much more entertaining reading. The release on Thursday doesn't identify Feldheim, but law enforcement officials briefed on the investigation confirmed his identity. Okay. It's the most un-American thing I can think of right now. In a time of crisis, for anybody to take materials that they know are needed on the front line and take them out of the supply chain, hide them, and try to sell them at a markup, said Craig Carpenito, the top federal prosecutor in New Jersey, who was tapped by the Attorney General last week to lead the task force in an interview.
Okay, so the problem is the price gouging. This is what they're reiterating in this one.
And I'm sorry, like I said, 125% I'm okay with. Look, part of America is buy low, sell high. Part of America is to be industrious and make something out of nothing. I mean, what's next? Are we going to start nailing the kids on the street in winter who want to charge $25 for shoveling your sidewalk and driveway instead of $20?
Well, okay, my biggest issue, because we are in a state of emergency and a declared state of emergency, price gouging laws go into effect.
Okay, fair enough.
That's where the big thing is during a state of emergency, if I'm remembering it correctly, price gouging laws go into effect. Don't you remember after 9/11?
The gas hike for a day and then everyone got nailed.
They declared a state of emergency in order to have the price gouging laws go into effect to keep gas prices from skyrocketing.
Yeah, okay.
It's the same concept as a state of emergency has been declared, so price gouging laws are in effect. Like I said, here in the state of Arkansas, they don't come and just take your stuff. You get fined for every single time. I mean, up to like $10,000. It's not a small fine. They get fined, so they don't. They're discouraged from price gouging, but they don't come in and seize your material, your property.
Yeah.
That's where I'm having my visceral reaction is the seizure of property.
See, and that's not for me. It's the redistribution for me. I mean, I would get it if this were being seized as evidence.
Okay,
and that's fine.
The seizure and redistribution is okay.
That's where I have a big problem. But I mean, they better have already cut him a check.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where
I was just gonna read a little something. I want you to do something and read something for me. Because even in a state of emergency, this sort of thing should not. And this is what I wanted to, because when I thought it was
You want me to read this?
That's what I want you to read.
The right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrant shall issue but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the person or things to be seized. This is the Fourth Amendment. Now, I would argue that the doctor who made the complaint after he bought some of the stuff would be your probable
Affidavit.
cause supported by oath or affirmation.
For the seizure of it. So they would have to have proper probable cause to seize the material. But what I am like you, the distribution of said material.
Yeah.
He better, and I'm not seeing anywhere where they cut him a check.
So.
Now there's some about the intent.
Yeah.
In the other article.
Well, I intend to put something extra in my coffee, but I'm in front of the camera. I can't do that, so I guess not.
Okay, so where do we leave off? Officials in Washington?
Yes, officials in Washington and representatives from each of the 93 U.S. Attorney offices across the country compose the task force, which is taking in leads daily and building new investigations, Carpenito said. Members of the task force have had to study the market for personal protective equipment and Defense Production Act, the Korean War-era law that was invoked by the president last month and gave the Justice Department new authorities to investigate people believed to be hoarding scarce supplies that had been specially designated by the Trump administration.
Now, that's worrisome. How that is phrased has nothing to do with price gouging. People believed to be
investigate
hoarding.
People believed to be hoarding scarce supplies that have been specially designated by the Trump administration.
That rankles my prepping feathers. And this is why OPSEC, guys, OPSEC is so important. Now, I would not recommend ever lying to federal anybody, to law enforcement or anything like that, but you do have the right to remain silent and not incriminate yourselves. These are rights that you always have. Zip.
Well, but here's the thing. I mean, I don't think anyone in our prepping circles, at least, has 130,000 surgical or other mask, gowns, disinfectant towels, particulate filters, and bottles of hand sanitizer.
But this is what bothers me, is people suspected of hoarding.
Yeah.
Right now, it's large quantities of masks. What's next? That's what's bothering me. People with any PPE? People with more than just what they believe that their family might need? People suspected, people like us who are known preppers? Are they going to be?
I'm not gonna flash it up here because it's got my department and
barcodes
barcode and full name, but I'm looking at my fire department ID, and I'm wondering if that exempts me or not.
I don't know. This is what bothers me, is I hate the slippery slope argument. I hate it, because it's not always a valid argument. But you do have to watch trends like this and go, okay, right now they're hoarding some guy that's price gouging that has an absolute ton of medical supplies. We have no idea if he's ever going to get reimbursed for this property that is his property. Now, it may come out and, here's your check, but here's your fine for all the stuff that you did. And it may come out in the wash where he's in debt instead. But
so that's what bothers you.
What bothers me is we're on the lookout, is what I'm seeing. We're on the lookout for people we believe are hoarding supplies. And that's the phrase that's really getting me, because they're not super. I got talked about the price gouging.
They've left it deliberately open enough that they can change it and go after the little guy instead of just the big fish.
And I brought that up of how people like me and you who are in the preparedness community, we didn't go out and search for medical supplies or anything like that. But I know many people who prep medical supplies and have been for decades. This is just their lifestyle. This is how they've been living. As they take care of their own medical. They have their medical dressings, they have their masks, they have their gloves, and they have their own PPE that is set aside for if real SHTF happens.
Well,
that is their stuff for if something very bad happens. Are they going to get lumped in with the hoarders? And that's what I worry about, is preppers being lumped in with getting put underneath this term of hoarder, when this has been our lifestyle of preparedness.
I hear what you're saying, and I agree, and that is worrisome. The thing that I find offensive, absolutely offensive, is the Defense Production Act, the Korean War era law. Keep in mind, I've brought this up before. The Emergency Powers Acts that were passed during the Cuban Missile Crisis are still actually on the books and able to be called in. Many of these things that were supposed to expire or be just for this emergency
can be brought back up.
Well, I mean, TSA was supposed to be expired after, 5 years? They're still working. By the way, you guys do a good job. I do appreciate you, but
go through the process. Go through the process of actually making a law,
yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm half tempted to look up this Defense Production Act, and so but I might do that on a different day.
Let's do that on a different video, because we're actually at 30 minutes already.
Okay. Well, it's still not as long as our other one.
Yeah. They have been told to move with due course, Carpenito said. Speed is a big thing here because we know that the material that is being hoarded is something that is desperately needed. Their first case was sparked by an interview a New Jersey doctor gave the NBC News last month, describing how he'd had to resort to buying protective equipment on the black market at an exorbitant price. Investigators immediately approached the doctor, who connected them with another witness and a WhatsApp group where the sales were being facilitated, Carpenito said. The seized supplies are described in court documents, dozens of pallets of medical supplies stacked in a New Jersey auto repair shop. When FBI agents approached Feldheim at his home on Sunday, the Justice Department alleges he lied about owning large quantities of the supplies and selling them directly.
All right, that's the lying to officials, which we saw earlier as one of the charges. It wasn't lying about the coronavirus. It was lying about it. I got nothing.
He also allegedly coughed on the agents and later told them that he had coronavirus, according to a criminal complaint.
But I'm just saying, him lying about having a virus is not the same as saying I don't have anything and I'm lying to federal. As somebody who studied criminal justice, it's more the sense of you're asked a direct question and then you lie to federal agents. That's why I'm saying you have the right to remain silent. Please use it. Please.
And everything said here is for entertainment purposes only.
It is. I'm not giving anybody advice on it, but I'm advising you. You are told your Miranda rights. All of us know them by heart at this point because we watched Cops as kids.
Bad boys, what you gonna do when Sheriff John Brown come for you?
You're told right off the bat, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. Anything you say. People just kind of skim over that part when they're being Mirandized, and they don't realize that isn't all the time. That is all the time you have the right to remain silent. So please, if people saying, do you have supplies?
I have enough for my family for the next week.
No. Say nothing. You have the right. You have the right.
Oh, I thought you were asking me.
To remain silent. Please use it. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
While Feldheim faces only the assault and lying charges, Carpenito said prosecutors are still investigating and considering charges of hoarding and price gouging under the Defense Production Act. Whoa!
You catch that? Did you catch that? He hasn't even been charged and his stuff has already been seized and redistributed.
That's theft, guys.
That is that.
Hey, guys, Miss FBI agent.
Mr.
That's theft. That's theft.
Okay. Oh man, that's what I'm saying. That bothers me like a lot.
Okay.
We just read the Fourth Amendment.
Okay. HHS said it used its Defense Production Act authority to take possession of the items for the U.S. government and will pay Feldheim the market value. Will pay. Okay, hold on. Don't react yet. Chill out. HHS said it is redistributing the seized supplies to state health agencies in New York and New Jersey, where officials have pleaded for help to secure critical medical supplies amid the pandemic. Quote, this is the first of many such investigations that are underway, Peter Navarro, DPA policy coordinator and assistant to the president, said in a statement.
Okay, now that's the end of that article.
Okay.
Reaction? Yeah.
It's a slippery slope because, to me, that's not evidence. That's stolen property. That is, oh, you've got all of this and we need it for the medical people. We're taking it, but we're not going to charge you. Now, unless there was a deal made that if you donate it / let us seize it, we won't press charges, and they had the list of charges out, and it would have been, 100 years in a federal stockade, then, I mean, they could have worked a plea deal. But the fact that he hasn't been charged, he hasn't done anything, unless there was a deal involved, no, that's theft. Period. End of story.
And that's scary.
So that means that either under the emergency powers, they have suspended parts of the Constitution already. I can't believe I'm sounding like one of those constitutionalists.
Well, tell us in the comments, guys, do you want us to go over this Defense Production Act that they keep referencing? Because if this has been invoked already, as they said they used its Defense Production Act authority to take possession of the items for the U.S. government. That sentence is bothersome. And so let me know in the comments, do you want us to go over this Defense Production Act and really kind of dive into it? Because it would probably have to be a whole nother video of us reacting to this, because it really does huge red flags for me. Huge red flags for me. And, and it should for all my prepper friends out there. And this, I'm saying it again, OPSEC is so important. If you do have PPE, personal protective equipment, that's in your gloves, your mask, things for your own medical supplies, please don't be trying to sell them on the black market, because yes, price gouging right now, that's illegal. I can get that. You get charged for price gouging, blah, blah, blah. Like I said, in our state, it's a fine. And I get that. But if you have this stuff set aside for your family because you have medical supplies to protect your family, not only in cases of what's going on right now, but what may come in the future, we don't know. As preppers, we prepare for the unknown. So if you are hoarding, prepping, putting supplies back, keep it to yourself. That is your business. I'm not here to give legal advice or anything like that. I would say don't break the law, and price gouging is against the law. And I don't think it's able to get any equipment to be able to hoard anything right now. But guys, this is OPSEC time, big time. Because this kind of stuff, it says right there at the very last of it, says this is the first of many such investigations underway. That's bothersome.
Pretty sure this video just got demonetized.
I don't care. This is me talking to my fellow preppers. This is me talking to you guys. This is us reacting to this stuff because as a prepper, this kind of stuff is very worrisome because I want y'all guys to stay safe. I want your preps to stay safe because I know a lot of y'all have spent, I don't want to say how much money people have spent.
You have spent a lifetime sacrificing and putting this stuff away. You have put time and effort into this. Leave it at that.
Yeah, you know, we have sacrificed family vacations and, you know, buying the latest, coolest gadgets.
Leave it at that.
And I don't want y'all to lose it. I don't want you to.
Good luck. Head on a swivel. Keep your wits about you and be smart.
Very, very smart. And don't break the law.
Don't break the law.
Don't break the law. This guy was coughing up schedule. That part's still kind of stuck in my head a bit. I have the Rona. You're an idiot.
He was an idiot.
I know he was an idiot.
Don't
be like that guy.
Don't be that guy.
Don't be that guy.
Should we film a skit? You know, coughing on a federal agent.
No.
Don't be him.
Don't be that guy. But also, guys, please do be safe, and I hope you guys are being very careful because I know everybody's on the quarantine, and I hope y'all are
social distancing. No,
there's lots of stuff going on and things are developing so quickly that but I did want to look over because I did see a lot of preppers just reading the headline, and that's what I did at first, just read the headline, and I saw a lot of people having that kind of knee-jerk reaction, so I was like, hey, should totally do Preppers React and actually read the article.
I had skimmed.
And I'm kind of glad.
I had skimmed the first one. I had not read this one. I mean, this was raw.
Stop it.
I got the Rona.
Oh, goodness. All right, guys, we're going to wrap it up. It's kind of been a long one, and I hope you guys stuck with us till the end. So
seriously,
tell us in the comments if y'all want to, like I said, if y'all want us to go over that Korean War era Defense Production Act, or if you want to just if y'all have anything to suggest that we react to, let us know. I wouldn't mind doing these maybe once a month at least.
That's kind of the plan. We do have a couple of friendly targets in the audience who have asked.
Hey, react to my videos.
and you're on the list. We were actually going to do a different one, but the article came up, and I really wanted to take a look at it.
Yeah, me too.
So thanks for joining us. Be well, stay safe, keep prepared, 6 feet apart, don't cough on each other.
Or federal agents. Please don't cough on the FBI.
Until next time, I'm Steve.
And I'm Kim, and this has been Prepping in Progress.
Have a good one.
Thanks for watching.